Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you step by step how to work with the new product from Qlik, which is the Writeback. So you can change data inside the dashboard and just get rid of some spreadsheets and some other things and centralize data inside of Qlik. Okay, I've been working with write tables or Writeback for the last 3 years, every single day basically. I work for Infinity and we have a similar product with different functionalities and things that are focus on planning and things like that. But for basic use cases, this is a very interesting release, and I know that a lot of people were very excited about it. So let's see how to connect to the data, how it works, and it's actually very simple. I have a new app here, and I just have one column because it's just a very simple demo. I can load this in my data model, a list of countries. And Qlik has done a very good job in making this very simple. So you don't need to worry about a lot of things. You just kind of plug and play. Everything is already in Qlik Cloud. It's a new object that is listed here in the chart list. So just scroll down and you will find here the new write table. Bring it to the chart or to the sheet. It works just like any other table. You have the dimensions, the measures. And in this case, I have only one field. And after that, I can click here and choose the editable column, right? So let's click here. I can define the primary key. So in the back end of this table, there is actually a real table that will be fed from the data that will be input in here. So I need to define the keys. I can click here. If I had more fields, they would be displayed in here. But in this case, I only have one. Let's click here, save. And notice that we have this change store. Let me remove my face from the video. Now here, change store. There is a table that is automatically assigned to this object. So all the changes that we make will be stored under this ID here in this table, okay? Now going back here in the editable column, let me show you how it works. This is the title of the column. And we have two options, the manual user input, which is just like a number or free text. I can type in anything, okay? Or it could be a drop-down list if you change it to single selection. So if I click here, I can enter values that would be something like ABC, and then another one, DEF, and so on. And after that, I can just choose from the list and it's just easier, right? And change the values from here. There's a color code. So values that are not saved are orange, values that are saved are green, and locked are blue. So in case you're working with multiple people on the same page and someone is working on that record, it will be blue because it will be locked. Now let me clear the changes. And I want to actually do what I do the most, or at least the most use cases for us in Infinity is planning. So I will include here 12 columns from January to December, and let's see how this will work. I will first delete this one, okay? And interesting, they included here this warning in case I want to remove something, just to confirm that I'm sure that I want to delete it. And I will start to include here January, February, March, and so on. Okay, so now I have included all 12 months in the object, and I want to start with Australia. Let's say that we'll sell 500 units of something next year, and then we'll go to 550, then 600, 660, whatever. We can include here the values. After that, I can click on save, and this data is going to that storage, right, that we saw in here related to this ID. This is stored for 90 days. You can read the details, but what I want to do now is to bring the values back into the application so we can see the changes and start to play with it. To do that, if you go to the documentation, you will find the parameters for the REST connection, and it's quite simple. So just go to the data load editor. I'll open in a separate tab. Copy this URL in here. and we just need to change the basis and create a new connection. It will be a REST connection, okay? Now we need to change the ID from the table. So just pick it from here, copy this part, and the base URL, which is the tenant. In this case, I'm using the Infinity pre-sales tenant. We need to add some parameters. So the first one here is limit 100, and the query headers is authorization. The value is bearer plus an API from Qlik. So you need to have permissions to create a new API key. Make sure that it doesn't expire in the next, I don't know how many days you want it, but it will depend on your permissions. In my case, 6 hours is fine for the video, but just make sure that you have it long enough so your app will work. Now copy this key, go back to the connection, paste it in here, and now you can just connect to this write table. Now I'll click here in select data. We have root, and we also have data. So this is the table that we want to retrieve, and you can see the values that I input in there with my key field, which is country. So let's mark this, click here in insert script. Notice something that is very important here. I only have the 4 fields that I added data to. So I don't have May, June, July because I didn't enter anything so far. So just make sure that you have this when you're developing your application, or at least you have some record in each one of these columns. Now what I will do here, I don't need to know who updated what and when in this case. If you wanted, you could just leave this here and check that, but in our case I want to rename these fields like January, so this is February, so this will be 02, January will be 01. So just because I want to make it very simple, I don't need to sort it later or create a calendar or anything like that. I want this to be a very simple tutorial. And now I will do here a cross table. This will be the month number, and the second column will be sales. We are basically turning columns into rows, and now I can click here in load data. And that's it. Now the app is reloaded. I think I can start to play with this and create some charts. Let's see. I will just include here a new bar chart. The bars will be the month number and the values will be the sum of sales. There we go. It's a start, and I can even include here the country if I want and stack them. So this will be easier in case I have more countries. But as you know, we need to reload the app to see the data coming through. So I'll include here a button to reload the app. In this case, I'm the owner of the app, but I think you would have to set up a Qlik automation to reload the app and let your other users reload the same app in case it's published. So add an action, reload data. And now if I enter something here for Brazil, let's say that I will enter 1,500, 1,300, and 500 here. Click save and reload. Let's see if this is gonna work. There we go. Now we can play with the new write table. If you enter records for the rest of the months, just make sure that you reload or just bring back the script from the table, because new fields will be added and you need them in the script to load these fields in here. Okay, but this is the idea. I think you can take it from here and just play with it. So I'll include here more values in the other countries so you can see how it works. Click Save, reload, and your app has new values with whatever you're doing here. So you can create a lot of different things. You can be creative. That's pretty much it for this video. Now let me quickly show you some differences between the new Qlik table and our product, which is Infinity, an extension. So there are many different things that we can do in terms of saving data. We can be in Qlik Cloud or Qlik on-premise. We can save data in different types of databases and a bunch of different actions. So if you need something that is very advanced or robust, this is the recommendation, because you can do things like, I'll give you one example here. This application has basically the same purpose. So you have a history with actuals, and here on the bottom you have this planning part where you can set values. I can do a batch copy, for example, and just copy everything from the last year. I can increase these values. So let's say that I will just copy everything. I'll click here and recalculate. The values will be in next year the same values that we had in the previous year. So this will take like 5 seconds to reload, and here we have all the results. If I want to increase that by some percentage, I can pre-fill everything with, I don't know, let's increase everything by 20%. Okay, so I can click here, include some actions that will change the inputs, and just recalculate everything. So there are many other things that we can do, different types of fields, save data in different types of storage. So these are some questions that we often get asked. In case you need something like this, just let us know. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something new, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to leave a comment or any question. Okay? See you in the next video.